Welcome all.
Welcome one. Yeah. What?
Welcome all.
Oh yeah. I was gonna welcome one, but
Nah, welcome all.
yeah.
Right off the bat.
Let's just let's go through the
All
chase.
inclusive.
Let's just go through the chase and get to the part where you're welcome. Hi.
What up?
This is PopNerdom.
Yes.
We armed and dangerous today.
Chill out. Don't do nothing.
Don't do nothing, but hit that like button. Fucking hit it.
Subscribe.
Is it cool if I threaten somebody to hit the like button? Like one.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This has two triggers. One for like, one
You
for
saw what
subscribe.
Trump just did? Of course it's cool.
It don't matter, no, and I fuck you up.
Nope.
Just do what I told you. Yeah, man. Pop Nerdom with Hansi and I sit down and talk about all the nerd shit. This is your boy Six.
Your boy Hanz.
I swear to God, I was about to say this is your boy Hanz. I
swear
it.
I was gonna go with it.
Yes, you would have, but I don't know why the fuck I would have said this is your boy Hanz.
You probably said it in your brain.
Look, let's flip the shit.
Maybe.
Look.
Oh shit! Look at my boy.
He's chilling on there.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2020.
Yes, definitely.
Yo, I haven't seen you since last year.
Word, yo.
Happy
Damn.
2020, bro.
Been since 2019. That's crazy, man.
I'm writing this down because I'm gonna forget.
Word.
2020, new decade.
Mm-hmm.
You're very happy Yankees didn't make one World Series last decade.
Mm-hmm.
But screw you. We're still
We
better.
got a decade of Marvel.
Got a decade of Marvel. We got
The end of
so many things.
Star
Wars,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Start and ending of Mandalorian and Watchmen. But big things happened. What a fun year. 2019 was fun.
Yes.
There was a lot of fun shit in it. But I don't want to go down that route.
Me neither.
I don't
Because
wanna
we are
do-
looking to the future.
Yeah, I don't want to do top 10 or nothing like that.
Nope.
Not yet, at least. Maybe we go to some sort of like, I don't know, whatever. My point is, I want to talk about something that hit me a little hard the other day. And by the other day, I mean today.
When you're trying to sound prepared. I was pondering.
I was pondering a few days ago, more like 10 minutes ago. Star Wars has ended, as we mentioned.
Skywalker Saga, yes.
Right. It's never ending. As long as that shit makes money, it's going to keep making money. But something dawned on me. 9 episodes of a saga. 2 movies that are kind of in it. Obviously, they live in the same universe, so they're married to it. 1 live action TV show so far. 3 if you count Ewoks. The 2 Ewoks TV movies. 4 if you count the Star Wars Holiday Special. 5 if you're going to count Obi-Wan that's coming up, but we haven't seen that yet. We're not counting cartoons, okay? Even though Clone Wars essentially is part of the same saga.
And it's the best.
Right. Isn't it interesting? If you really break down Star Wars, the first movie was groundbreaking and amazing. It's very 70s, it's slow paced, but it's a good movie. At least because it created this phenomenon, right?
It started it. It's a whole shebang.
Empire Strikes Back is, out of all the Star Wars movies, at least of the 9 of the saga, is the only one that's worth its weight in gold, right? Because Empire has...
And it's a great sequel.
Yeah, but beyond that, Empire has...
No, that's hard to do, though.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
But it's kind of easy because it's a middle chapter. So it's the one where you present the problem in the first one, you make it really hard on the second one, and you solve it on the third. These are acts, right? So it's the second act. So it's the one where you build on the drama, and you fucking introduce everything, and then now you being like, oh shit, the shit has hit the fan in the second one. In that sense, it's easier, but it's better directed, it's more emotional, it has more character driven story. The moment you hit Return of the Jedi, you get what every Star Wars movie has become since Return of the Jedi. It's a movie that has some parts that are great, that fit into the story, some really shitty things in it, and for the most part, meh. If I have to pick the worst movie of the original trilogy, unfortunately, for me personally, I don't know for you, it's Return of the Jedi. Because he has it's missing. So the first Star Wars to me feels a little bit more experimental. Not really, but more like there's hunger in it and you can see it. Like, I want to make this work. And you can see it in the way that it's made, right? Empire is a movie that's grown up. It has a very good director, but it also has gravitas like the first one doesn't have, right? And then Return of the Jedi turns into this thing with the little fucking teddy bears running around, knocking down the Empire, and redoing the first movie by blowing up the Death Star. You know, like, it's missing quality as a movie. Not that it's a bad movie, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's missing some sauce into it. And every movie since then, episodes 1, 2, and 3, 7, 8, and 9, Solo,
Rogue One.
But I'm gonna exclude Rogue One because Rogue One is actually, if I'm counting all of the movies, Rogue One will make, it's in the top 3 of Star Wars movies. It's well done. It has better quality of movie making, and it's a war movie. It's not hiding what it is. You know, it's not trying to be. See, Star Wars, I personally forgive a lot of Star Wars because I forgive a lot of it because it's supposed to be fantasy. It's supposed to be fantasy in the first 3. There's this fantasy element to it. It's not necessarily science fiction. It's just, and I've said this before even here when we talk about it. I've been like, you know, it's a fantasy. So, you know, shit doesn't have to make sense like it has to in Star Trek. Because it's whatever. It's a guy with the sword. It's Excalibur. It's a wizard. It's fantasy in space. But then the prequels negate that by making these midichlorians and politics, and he holds to this level of reality that doesn't support the original trilogy, because now it's become a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's trying to get into Star Trek, into the Star Trek level, in which it's more science fiction-y than it's fantasy. This last trilogy, the one that just ended, it's just weird all around. It just every movie individually is doing its own thing. There's no cohesiveness, and I said this.
Every movie within the 3 is doing a different thing, and then the 3 are doing a different thing.
Right, and so
that's the problem.
And I said that last when we talked about it in the last episode, that I was saying, like, you know, it's just, you can say whatever you want about the prequels, but they're kind of cohesive to the story. But you know what? They're not. It's just the unfortunate part of it all is that Lucas didn't give a shit about keeping consistency. And that shows in all of these movies. It just, there's no consistency. So, I present to you the question to start the year in a negative note.
Yes.
Is Star Wars a good saga? So you have to compare it to sagas. You have to compare it to Marvel. You have to compare it to X-Men. You have to compare it to Planet of the Apes. You have to compare it to even The Godfather, maybe, you know? Even though that kind of doesn't really. But as a saga, is it good? Because I find myself defending a lot more of Star Wars than I find enjoying it. And I don't mean to anybody out loud. I mean to myself.
Yeah.
Like, I have to watch it and be like, well, it's a fantasy. So, like, nothing has to be canonized. Nothing has to make sense. Nothing has to match. Like, this, all right. So, just Princess Leia flew back into the ship.
It has to when you're harking back. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you're always going forward, then it doesn't have to because you're always going forward. But if you're going to reference something, but at least try to do it so it, you know what I mean? So it's easier to, to trace back.
But that's my point. Like, my point is the biggest problem with Star Wars is that they don't respect their own rules that they set. It never happens.
We didn't say that.
It's so stupid. It just look, I don't know which episode it was that you and I talked about this before, but I was thinking about the idea that you can't create a universe, say, like, where the Force is magic and the wizard is telling you the Force is magic. You're the wizard's apprentice. Come with me. Let's fucking try to do this magic thing. And then have it be negated once you go back. I mean, you're going forward in time, but you're going back to be like, let's negate this by making it something that he should fucking know. So why is he telling this kid, the Force surrounds us, is within us, and then be like, well, midi-chlorians. And then again, it's what I'm saying. Like, I find myself telling myself, well, he's technically not wrong. Midi-chlorians surround us and they're within us, and that therefore, what's the difference? Is semantics. It's not fucking semantics. It's a feeling. You're selling me a feeling where you're saying, hey, the Force is a magic power. And then you're saying, well, I told you it's a magic power, but really,
it's in everybody.
It's this little microbes that lives within you. And then you go even further in time and go, forget the magic shit that lives within you. Make up your fucking mind.
Because my understanding of the Force was always it was something that existed and it chose its vessels at random.
Right. So it's sort of it's more religious in that way.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not. It's this now. There's this science behind it.
Yeah, there's like a microorganism.
So. That's more apparent on this trilogy
than the others. Yeah.
This bashing of whatever you said before, because, like we said last week again, or last episode. Sorry. The second movie negates the first one, and the third movie negates the second, thus negating the first one. None of it makes sense, and I feel like.
And then, sorry to cut you off, but also projects get passed off halfway too, though. That's another thing too.
Like, there's listen, even within the movie, there's no consistency because you can have a director finish a fucking movie. So,
bro,
So I'm trying to figure out, as a saga, it's not good.
No, it's not, yo.
So because
we, and sorry to cut you off again.
Yeah.
Because we actually have the full thing, quote unquote, ustedes dijeron ya closed, so we can actually judge it in its entirety. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. It's a lot of it is fandom and love for, you know what I mean? And also like a
2
hope.
movies.
Yeah.
Well, 3. I mean, listen, really, the original trilogy, when you thought that was it, you just loved them.
Yeah.
And you accept the Return of the Jedi, like, look, this is the end. But what happened is that accepting Return of the Jedi for like, well, it's part of the saga and that's the end and we have to accept it, is what gave door to, it's Jar Jar Binks, but it's part of the saga, so we have to accept it. Because I found myself this morning, what happened to me was that I was like thinking about it and I was like, well, sure, it wasn't all great, but it's part of the universe. So, and that's the vision. And then the vision is shit. So why do I have to just accept it? And then the other problem is that those are final statements. Those movies, they're final statements. They're done. Listen, this is what you got. This is what you're going to get. We're finished. It's that's it. It drives me nuts, dude. I really couldn't believe that the way this ended, this saga, was as shitty from the way it ended the original time. As a rehash of the first movie with more money and more characters. Worsely done.
The ending of some amazing characters, like
yeah, but also look, in Return of the Jedi, Harrison Ford legitimately looks like he's bored the whole time he's in that movie. That's how he looks. And then you want me to be excited about it? It seems to me like we're holding on to love of something. And then in order to hold on to that love, then we have to accept it for what it is. And it's not good enough. It's just not. And unfortunately, once again, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Because I closed the book.
But I mean, even if you make 47 more movies and they get to be 100% better, it doesn't matter because these are part of the story. Mm-hmm. This is what it is. If I'm reading,
this is the foundation y'all laid.
Right. Like if I'm reading this as a book, I'm reading this book. Nobody's gonna come back 10 years later and be like, hey, even though Lucas tried to do that 400 times and be like, hey, let me hand shoot seconds, hand shoot first, hand shoot at the same time, hand doesn't shoot, nobody shoots, everybody shoots. It's just like, all right, whatever, you know, you have the technology to do that, whatever you want to do. I don't care, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make it better. Nothing makes it better. And then you have all of these prequels and all of these sequels then that are like, okay, that's what you're going to offer me? I guess I'll take it.
Now, moving forward, what do you expect? Because we already, last episode I gave the dates for the 3. So what do you expect from those 3?
Well, more shit, dude. It can't look. Let's say they take something and they say, look, we are clear of all of these things that are holding us by the neck, right? All these. If we do a story that's 2,000 years before or 2,000 years after, we're free of all of the shackles that we have. You're not. So it doesn't matter what happens. Like you said, this is the foundation because this is what started it all.
Yeah.
So then I can't.
This is the source material,
right? You know so I mean? You can't make the origin of the Jedi, and then
it not match up to the shit.
Right?
Yeah. No,
like it has to.
And then it's so hard to match up because there's so many
fucking back and forwards. So which way do you go? So if you give me the origin of the Jedi, you either have to make the Force magic, or which is I know is bullshit because there's midichlorians, or you gotta make it about the midichlorians, which makes it more bullshit because it's about midichlorians.
Word.
So there's no winning because the shit has been ruined. Like this milk is spoiled. The milk is just spoiled.
And shout out to my boy Pasquale because he'd be like, man, no, he enjoys. He'd be watching the show. He'd be like, yo, I just watch them, and I try not to, like you said, try not to get mad at the holes. You know what I mean? Like he just be enjoying them, and that's great and all of that. But it's like,
you know, because it's subpar quality entertainment that looks pretty, and so like you have to take it as subpar quality entertainment that looks pretty, and that's all you do. You just be like, well, all right, I see some lightsaber fighting, that's great, and then we move on with our day, and let's keep it moving. Like it doesn't matter because at the end, who cares? At the end of it all. So, you know, so the plot doesn't make sense. All right. So this lightsaber fights. It seems like I said, I tend to just grab parts of the movie, just sequences and scenes and lines, and be content with I got this little bit of something that I liked, instead of watching something like the Avengers Saga.
Yo, it's a shitty free dinner.
Yo, it's exactly what it is. It's not like watching the Avengers Saga, and I have to compare it because
It's a saga.
it's comparable. It's a saga,
And
it ended in the same year that this saga ended. And you gave me, granted, the perimeters were very different, completely. Marvel is coming from having had 6 movies made by Lucas that show you how to make a saga, and also show you the mistakes that makes, so you don't make them.
Yeah.
And then you also come from
Mad
a comic
hindsight.
hindsight. Yes, and you coming from a comic book background, which allows you to say, hey, we've been doing stories for 60 years, and this is how that works.
But y'all had time too.
Yeah.
Star Wars, y'all had time too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even after episode 1, 2, and 3 were meh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could have.
Y'all had time. Y'all had time, yo. Shame on y'all.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I actually really, really, really enjoyed episode 7, even though, yeah, it's a rehash of the original, but I didn't care because it was enjoyable. But this last movie showed me the reason why it's enjoyable is because J.J. Abrams can make shit really, really, really shine. It just doesn't mean that it's good. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's good. It just looks at it. It just means that it's
golden turd, nigga. It's still shit.
It's exactly. It's exciting. He knows how to make it move, and he knows how to get you pumped up, and you get up from your seat because it's tricks of directing. It's not that the story tells you any fucking thing.
It's entertaining.
Yes. And so I really liked episode 7 a lot, dude. A lot. I really liked it a lot. But then in retrospect, it's like, fuck.
You liked it because of the glitz and glamour.
Yes. And it was just like, oh, come on, man. Like now, like if I watch this entire saga with the eye that I have today, I'm probably going to be like, I don't need to watch this ever again. It's shit.
That's how shit. That's the way you feel is exactly how I feel about Game of Thrones when it ended.
Yeah.
Bro, I feel you 100.
But the difference is that Game of Thrones,
it's one.
Right. But also Game of Thrones came up and was doing really well, and then had a turn that you could see, and so it ended how it turned. So like he made a left turn.
It's not that many.
Right. It wasn't trying to self-correct. It was just like, yo, we landing this plane. I don't give a fuck that we're missing a wheel. We just landing it. And that's what they did. So you can be mad. Of course you should be mad because you fucking put 10 years of your life into something, and that's how you pay me back with. But at the end of the day, the saving grace of Game of Thrones is that I still have 2 books to read that will save the flavor for me. It hasn't been spoiled in the sense that those things, even though they're the same, are so separate to some degree that I can consume one and the other and feel fine being like, well, they're a different thing. It's like when I read Dune versus when I watch Dune. They're 2 different things. They're telling the same story. It's 2 pieces of the same steak cooked with different seasoning. And one tastes way better than the other and is better cooked. It's all it is. But in the case of Star Wars, they always been movies. That's all they are. That's what they're meant to be. And they're meant to be, apparently, shitty movies. So even though it's backwards with most other movie series where you have you plan to do good movies, and I'm not saying that Disney or even Lucas set out to make shitty movies, because that's not what I mean. And I'm sure they didn't. You know, I'm not saying that. I don't want nobody to fucking come at me and be like, oh, well, you said no. But
they definitely didn't try hard not to make.
Right.
You know,
right. They just really I don't know what happened, but I think Lucas, my perspective of Lucas is that Lucas was in love with the technique of filmmaking, and he pushed the boundaries of filmmaking 400 times. Every time he made a Star Wars movie, something changed in the way that you made movies. So he was about technicality, not about making good movies. But he lucked out. He had a story. I mean, he did the research right for the original movie that he wrote. And when that ended up being 3 movies, it kind of kept. But once he gets to Return of the Jedi, it kind of shuts out. But after that, the prequels, all right. I mean, I saw what he has no depth and I'm sorry because look, I have never made a movie. Well, that's not true. But I have never made a movie that anybody has seen. I haven't had the guts or the balls to go out there and say, give me $100 million of your dollars and I'm going to return it 10 times fold by something that I have to say that I know everybody would like. I don't have those balls. And I don't have the technical know-how to make that happen. So the fact that he made a movie, as hard as it is to make a movie, fucking I applaud him for it. But even still, it just seems like nobody gives a shit. They just want to make something and that's it. And ultimately, it's not that. You have fandom. And that means that people love what you're showing me. And you have to respect that fandom. And that's what's happening with these movies, with all of them. Disney, Lucasfilm, do not give a shit about their fans. And I'm not trying to be an angry
Lucasfilm fan, yo.
I'm not trying to be an angry fanboy.
They don't handle Marvel like that.
No, I'm not trying to be an angry fanboy. I'm really not, dude. Like, I'm really not because I'm not.
And that's crazy because it's the same parent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they're like, the writing y'all doing over here, why isn't that some of that leaking?
Because I don't know, because it's a different entity. It's a same father and 2 different children. So children are different. But I find that you can see it more in this trilogy. The arrogance of like a Rian Johnson to just make a film where he wanted to say something. And he chose it to do it. I said that when we reviewed the last Jedi. It's like he wanted to make a film where he wanted to tell it how he wanted to. This is not a film to do that because this is a legacy film. It's part of a legacy.
And it's the last. That's the last.
But not the last one, but the one before.
Well, the second, yeah. It's the mid. Yeah.
So you don't get to do that. Like, you get to do that with your Knives Out movie. You don't get to do that with this movie because this movie doesn't belong to you. You know, I feel like it's very unfortunate because I'm always defending Star Wars one way or another. And I feel like right now I just, and this all, by the way, got prompted. I'm gonna put this in the description. Retro Blasting a few days back, which is another YouTube channel. It's a fantastic YouTube channel I watch. The guy Michael was talking about how they don't respect canon to make these movies. And I think there were some points that I was just a little bit like, all right, whatever. And that's what happened, that I was like, well, okay, but it's a fantasy. And then I started getting mad at myself because I was like, why do I have to say that? Why can't this just be good? Why can't it just be good and that's it? And I don't have to make an excuse to myself. I'm not making it to Retro Blasting. I'm making the excuse to myself to feel like it's okay because it's just a movie, and it is just a movie. Look, it's not gonna save the universe. It's not gonna save lives. It's not gonna stop my diabetes. It's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? But it's entertainment, and I understand it, and I respect it on that level. That it doesn't have to be what I want it to be, but the least that I deserve from entertainment is that it has to be somewhat good. And once again, respect the fandom that you've created. It's like when Battle Chasers, the comic book Battle Chasers was coming out, and this guy was making covers for video games, was making more money. It was like, fuck that comic book. It was one of the most bought comic books, at the time when it was coming out. Everybody was reading it. And then he just said, fuck you, fans. And he really is like a slap in the face to like, why do I even care about your product? And that's what I'm getting at. That's why I'm pissed, because it's like, why do I have to care? If you don't care, why should I? And that's the reaction that I'm having, where it's like, well, it's fantasy. It's because you don't care. Why should I? And then why should I give you my money? You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that this new trilogy of movies that you mentioned coming out 2022 starting, right?
Yep.
I hope that like I said, they can't start fresh. But I hope that they take a note to say, all right, you know what? I can do better.
Let's not fill in holes in the past. Let's just make this solid.
Yeah. And, like you have to use your base from what is being set up.
Because it's there.
But let's move it right on.
Now, do you think they're filming these things and then releasing them? Or like, because we're going to have 3 years without a Star Wars film. Because the first one's coming in...
No, 2022.
22, yeah, 2 years. Well, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's not that bad. Yeah.
It always used to be 3 years.
Because I was just thinking about, like these characters, like real lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why? They obviously don't give a shit. So why should you be worrying about their real lives? Like what's been happening this whole time to them? Yeah, who cares? Who cares? They don't care. I'm not gonna care. And then until they start showing me that they care, I'm just not gonna care. Done. I saved myself the aggravation.
They're doing a Clone Wars, not Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. I think it's a prequel or no? Are they doing another series or not?
Okay, I didn't see that. So
yeah, I didn't see Rebels either. Well, I lied. I didn't see Rebels completely.
Yeah, I saw. You know what? I lied too. I saw the first season.
But same.
Whatever.
I just like Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Good.
Oh.
Anyways, speaking of moving on.
Yeah. Oh, right on time.
Let's get to that.
So yeah, being that this is the top of the year, everybody, we want to do, just do things that we are excited for in 2020.
Yeah, man.
Now,
so much.
Let's start off with, the big dog, Disney Plus. What is one thing that you are excited for in Disney Plus? You just have to pick just one.
Obi-Wan.
You pick the one, Obi-Wan.
There is nothing that I'm more excited about than Obi-Wan. Having seen Mandalorian and seeing that they can have some fun and do a story that I actually liked without having to fucking lie to myself about it. I'm very excited for Obi-Wan. I want to see what they do with that and what they're going to bring into it that they haven't shown me yet.
The fact that I seen The Mandalorian, I'm super excited about Obi-Wan, but it's like the anxiety is cut in half because The Mandalorian was so good. So it's like
they're never going to reach that again?
No, hell no.
Oh.
That it's like a shoo-in. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna like that. You know what I mean? Like, now what I'm excited for is WandaVision. Okay. Because how does he come back? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And how does this affect shit moving forward? Because they do affect shit moving forward.
Yeah.
And also, what's the show gonna be about? Because also, Doctor Strange is in the show.
I feel like it's gonna be like a sitcom, dude, like Three's Company.
I honestly, I have no clue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you were to tell me, right down here is a piece of paper blank. Like, when you come back, it's gonna be blank.
Right.
I might have put my name on it, doodled on the corner.
Put the date.
Yeah.
It's like I wrote it.
But
I wrote the date.
That was it.
Yeah, WandaVision. I mean, I don't know how I feel about Marvel right now, because I feel like they did so good with these 10 years of movies that I feel like can't top it. So I don't care what you're gonna do.
No, I feel like the TV shows are gonna have their own flavor.
I hope so,
because I honestly, I can almost bet money on Falcon and Bucky being good, bro, because they're spies. They're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be like a little bit like sandbaggers or something. I don't know. Look, I made this mistake before when I watched the South Park movie in the movie theater. I stopped watching South Park because I told myself, this is not the truth, but I told myself they're never gonna top that. I don't care what they do in that show. It's never gonna be this good. So, was that me?
That is you, sir.
Shit, where is that?
Come on down to South Park and meet some friends of mine.
So I don't know that I should use the same judgment here. Actually, I know I shouldn't use the same judgment here. So but I have no expectation for it. So, how about Netflix? What do you got for Netflix?
For Netflix coming 2020, I am excited for.
Look at you thinking really hard.
Yeah, thinking really hard because I didn't even think about any Netflix.
Well, Netflix has Kingdom coming back. It has Avatar. It has Cowboy Bebop.
Are you sure Avatar's coming 2020?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then it's Avatar. I was watching something on Avatar before I came here.
Oh.
How they like the artwork and all that, but you know it's a lie. I'm not excited about Avatar at all.
Why not?
No.
I don't know. I mean,
that's a lie. Yeah, I'm not excited about Avatar at all. Nothing in that 9-minute video they showed me made me honestly.
Netflix ain't got shit for you?
I don't give a fuck about Netflix right now.
Wow. All right.
I don't care for
You're
Netflix
going to hate
now.
hard and shit. All right.
And maybe it's because I'm not remembering anything right now.
Well, maybe that might be the reason why, but...
But I don't... You know what I mean?
Well, you know...
Let me look at a list real quick.
No, don't look at a list. It's all right, man. This is off the cuffs. Come on. Don't do it.
2020 shows. Perfect.
Look at
Sabrina. You. No, 2020. Nope. See, I hate that. When you do 2020, they show you 2019 also. There we go. Bam. Bo Jackman. Oh, January. Oh, the Dracula series. Is that going to be good?
No.
Nah. Nope.
You're not even thinking about Netflix. I got 2 things for Netflix, so I can do it for you. Because I'm excited about Avatar. I actually am. Nah. And I'm excited about Cowboy Bebop. Except I have a lot of fear for Cowboy Bebop. I think they're gonna fuck it up. And I'm not looking forward to them fucking it up. But I'm holding hope against hope. No? I'm hoping against hope.
Hollywood.
Look at you. Look at you.
I'm going too. No, Selena. No, I don't think that's gonna be good. Nah, yo, honestly, the one thing I would like them to bring back, and I don't even think they're bringing back, is Sabrina.
What?
Yeah, Netflix has a bunch of long shots and a bunch of things they should have canceled so they could have remained good coming out.
I'm looking forward very, very, very anxiously to Picard on CBS Plus, CBS All Access. Jesus, I'm finishing Deep Space Nine. Picard starts in a couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm very excited about it. I'm gonna have fun with that.
Hulu got the end of Handmaid coming.
I don't watch that, but you know,
good show.
Looking forward to New Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and
wouldn't that be cable television?
Would it? I watch it on Hulu, but I guess
yeah.
Wu-Tang's coming back. Is the Wu coming through?
Mandalorian. Also,
yeah, Mandalorian's gonna be at the end of the year again. We're gonna get some more Mandalorian. Hell yeah! And as far as movies, I can't even think of a guy. Ghostbusters, I'm excited about. I know.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little bit excited for Dune.
Dune is coming out this year.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a picture of Dune.
Yeah.
But I've told you before, and I'm gonna tell you again. It's my favorite book.
I know.
Don't fuck it up.
And I'm also excited for the release of One Piece Stampede on DVD. Okay. Dude, it's literally the only thing I could not find online. I can't find that shit, bro. Yo, it's amazing. Like,
well done.
Well done, yo.
Make it unreapable.
What?
Yeah, man. I don't know off the top of the cuff like that. I don't know if there's anything else. 2020 looks to be
But
2019 plus. I
Kong
just
versus Godzilla is coming out, right?
Kong versus Godzilla, is that this year?
I believe so. Yo, did you hear that this ain't this year, but 2022, right? Black Panther might be the actual first Marvel movie, meaning it will have Fantastic Four and X-Men characters in it. Dike Doctor Doom is
The main baddie.
the main bad guy. And I'm like, yo, not for nothing, I was smoking with my boy, and he said some shit. He was like, maybe that's how he gets his armor. I'm like, wow, steals it from Wakanda. But
No, it's that is this. Right?
very, very, yeah. That was Sammy Sosa, nigga.
You stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's stuff in 2020.
2020 feels like 2019 plus because 2019 went so fucking fast that I feel like the year's not over. This New Year's fucking didn't feel like the year was over.
But it was 12:03. I was like, huh? Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, baby.
Yo, let's blitz him.
Yeah. Ba-bam-ba-ba-bum. All right. Now, quick blitz. Mallrats still in development.
Mallrats what? The TV show?
Yeah.
Or the movie?
No, the movie.
Mallrats, the second, Mallrats Part 2.
Yes, still in development.
I mean, what does that mean? It's written. I know. I mean, Kevin Smith has said all of this shit. It's still written. It's it broke down into episodes. He might have kept both versions. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing that on Netflix or something.
People spent $200 million on mobile games on Christmas alone.
What?
Christmas
How much?
Day, 200 million.
Yo, we slacking, B.
We slacking.
We need to make our own. We need a fucking PopNerdom.
We need a trivia game. Palpatine shown how he survives with deleted scenes.
Moving on.
Damn, what was his name? One of the actors says that he hopes we have another freaking JJ Snyder director's cut thing going. They're like, yeah, I hope we shot a bunch of scenes in Star Wars, and I hopefully some of the director stuff gets released. What director's cut? Jana, or Jaina, whatever the hell her name is. Finn's new boo, the black chick. Might be Lando's daughter.
Yeah, I knew that.
Ugh, nasty.
Why?
Bro, please. You didn't give in.
Dude, this movie didn't give you anything, and he gave you everything that he just played it safe in every fucking chance he had.
And now, last but not least, for you, Bob Ross action figure released.
Well, I'll be buying 2 of those. Thank you for putting them right there. Oh boy.
But yeah.
Listen. I think 2019 was such a weird year. This year ended with such a fucking disappointment in general. Like, I just feel like,
You know what? Some of our favorite things ended in shitty ways, but some of our favorite things started, though.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true, because we got Watchmen, Mandalorian, and all that. So I'm looking forward to a better 2020 where people are taking more things into consideration.
Oh,
Yo,
they get final thought. The Joker director, he's talking about something. He would love. He's throwing the energy in the air. I would love to see a Batman in my universe. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. This is what happens when everybody thinks they're Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Like, you should just kept it one. You're talking about a sequel, and you're also talking about you trying to throw the energy of Batman. Chill out, bro.
Batman ain't coming. Although a Batman in that greedy of a Batman, but he needs to have a story. That Joker movie didn't have a story, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something. If they rated our Batman for cursing and for language, and not for that's not the Batman rated R I want to see. There's so much, like, if y'all gonna do that, the one time y'all gonna do that, make Batman rated R, and he's gonna talk us to death. You feel what I'm saying?
Like, I feel like that's something that you can do. The Question, like, The Question could be rated R and be really well done detective story with the way that character exists. But like a Batman, like, I mean, I can see a Batman rated R because somebody's like, oh fuck, is the Batman, like, or talking like people really talk, like criminal element.
But that's whack. It's why would, because they're not gonna show him beating the shit out of people.
You can, because it's rated R.
I don't think they'll do it.
All right.
I don't think they'll take. I don't think.
Look, listen. DC will not take that chance anyway. Mm-hmm. They ain't never making no fucking.
They're just not doing it.
They're not doing that.
And if you're gonna do it because the language, that's whack. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Like, if you're gonna, you know what I mean? If that's why you got the R,
right?
Because 4 fucks, you feel what I'm saying? Then
yeah, nah. But that's the way to make it cheap and make money, because that's what was beautiful.
No, but take it out and make it for everybody. PG. I'd rather you PG-17 me, or you know what I'm saying?
PG-17. Well, but what I'm saying is, look, when you make a cheap movie like The Joker, and he generates all of that money on overhead. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like, all right, that's great because it's cheap. But you can't make an action movie cheap and make it PG-13, because then it looks like a cheap movie. You know what I'm saying? You can have it be cheap looking.
They could do a Pennyworth. They could.
Alfred,
they could do Alfred. They can do Alfred.
No.
Talkie rated R.
No.
And not a Batman talkie rated R.
No. Fuck Alfred.
I feel you.
I mean, I like Alfred, but I don't need to see a story about Alfred.
I fuck with Alfred.
Anyways,
I ain't watching the show though, but you know. So how much do I really?
I like Alfred, but I like Alfred because he's a great secondary character, not because he's this.
He's like a tertiary.
No. He's a good secondary character that when you bring him to the front for a little bit, you're excited because he's like, but he's a little bit, and then he goes right back. Hey, back to your closet, go clean.
Meg, who let you in?
Anyways, thank you for watching. Happy 2020.
Yes.
Thank you for 2019. For the few of you that watches, that continue to watch.
Shout out my boy Pasquale once again.
Yeah, shout out to Ashley for leaving a comment on the last episode, which I didn't see until 3 days later. but we love that you always come back. Go watch her channel too, AK Faso.
Boom, boom, boom.
And yeah, like, subscribe,
and share.
Tell
a friend to tell a friend.
Peace in the Middle East.
Peace out.